Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Every Degree Matters. I'm your host Saffran Minhar. We are still haven't reached the World War III point, but we are getting closer. As you all must be knowing, Iran and US is very close to having an escalation. As you might have all seen, that there's a lot of protest happening in Iran as the economy collapses, and President Trump is saying he might have intervene to help the supporters. We also have the first time the government, Trump, a sitting president's administration is intervening in trying to force the Federal Reserve chairman to cut the interest rate or have some political influence. And the DOJ has opens up a criminal probe into the Fed chair, and they are also investigating Powell's investigation. Opens political debates on whether the Fed should be independent. We're also going to talk about what is going to happen with NFL. We're reaching the divisional championship game happening this weekend. We got the Texans, the 49ers, the LA Rams, the Chargers, and then we also got the the Chicago Bears in it. So it's going to be crazy to see three teams from California originally are in the divisional game. So let's see who can clinch the championship. With that, let's get to the show. Thank you everyone for joining once again for Every Degree Matters. Every week we are here. Let's first talk about Iran. What's going to happen in terms of political, in terms of overthrowing the Ayatollahs, or support President Trump supporting, or the United States getting involved, especially with boots on the ground. What is it going to take? What is it going to be? Because it's not easy just to go and take down the leader like we did in Venezuela, or to help to change the regime in Iraq, because Iran, it's so hard. As you all know, that we had a very bad experience in Iraq and Afghanistan. How did that turn out to be? So that's why people are saying President Trump is not an idiot. He knows a lot of things, especially with the economy. Listen up, guys. We are in right now the greatest growth of economy. You all might have seen the new reports coming up that the economy might be on Q4, we might be around 5.3 to 5.7 GDP growth. That's amazing for the country. After a very long time, we're having such economic growth. We also have a lot of things are coming down, especially with the inflation. It's still 2.7. It's not bad as it was 4 years ago. And we also got to sell a lot of oil from Venezuela. So we sold, I think, for $500 million worth of oil, of Venezuelan oil, that we sold. So money is going to come in, and the economy is starting to boom in. And do you really want to enter into another war? That's just the ridiculous thing we want to see. It's different if we have a precise attack like we did in Venezuela. This is going to be, all hell is going to break loose. And just imagine, this is what I wanted you all to think. You all imagine if America actually goes into this, went all in, boots on the ground, full invasion of Iran, and think what's going to be the repercussion. Let me repeat this again, right? Imagine if America goes all in, boots on the ground, invasion of Iran. We're talking about trillions of dollars. Haven't we learned that how much of money has been spent in the past two wars that we went to ungodly amount of money. So stupid and so dumb if we really go and invade, or I could say help the protesters. All what I could say is that right now the situation is getting really crazy. A lot of people are getting executed. President Trump said it might not be because they have stopped the execution, but reports are coming that it could be 2,500 to 12,000 people have been died in Iran because of the ongoing protest that's going on. And then this, I can see the foreign minister going around and ranting about like how it's all terrorist and blah blah blah. They need to leave the religion and the thing that the interpretation of the way of interpretation of the religion by the ayatollahs are wrong, blatantly wrong what they're doing. And that also creates a chaos in other parts of the region where, if you look at Qatar, Dubai, or the UAE, Saudis, there's more moderate, more modern version of Islam. And these people in Iran are ridiculous. Not the people, the regime, or the, like we could say, the ayatollahs, or the people who are ruling right now. So we also saw this is bad, guys. That's how crazy it is. We are very close to a changing of the regime, but I don't know if we should get involved, especially with the boots on the ground, because that's going to be a huge economic cost. Like America, imagine if we went all in, boots on ground, full invasion of Iran. We are talking about trillions of in cost. The Iraqi war already told us it likely to be around $2 trillion. And experts say if we go to Iran, it will cost us nearly $2 to $3 trillion or more. Skyrocketing gas prices, massive debt, money is going to be pulled out of schools, roads, healthcare, all while the oil market goes bananas. Is it worth it? Is it worth to all our wallets to feel empty for generations? Or what do you think? It's just, let me know. Like, what do you guys think? It's just ridiculous. So I don't know what to say. Let's hope that President Trump takes rational decision. There are people in his ears like Lindsey Graham and Ted Cruz trying to tell crap. I hope that President takes a rational decision that doesn't impact economy wise. Imagine, guys, people don't understand. If something happens to Iran and if we have a war, it's a chain reaction. We will get pulled into this war. Israel, of course, will get pulled into this war. And then we will get Russia pulled into this war. If Iran wants help, Russia might be in. And then they all have nukes. Imagine if one person uses nuclear weapon. It's going to be disaster. There is no way of stopping it. Like I saw the other day, the doomsday plane landed in LAX. I don't know. Maybe they're preparing for it. Maybe it might be one of the effects or one of the unintended consequences, a consequence that unintentional consequences that we have to deal with. This is crazy. We have to be really careful. It's not like going around and invading, picking up Maduro, like getting out him. No, there's 90 million people, and you have a special force that protects the regime. It's not like easy unless we have like big support within the regime. Or in Iran, like there's a separation. Something needs to happen for us to go and comfortably not like change the regime. I'm not in for it, but if we have to go, it has to be really planned. I hope Secretary of War Pete Hegseth and all the other people around and Secretary Rubio are really doing something productive in terms of analyzing the repercussions, analyzing the cost it's going to burden on us. It's not going to be, we went in there, we took him out. It's not going to be easy. And we all have to, burden that cost. And that's going to be a disaster. It's not going to be a nice one. It's going to be a disaster. And I also wanted to touch upon that President Trump is going to take, he was talking about, getting into Greenland by force, taking Greenland by force. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you can buy Greenland. I'm all in for it. If people like it, yeah, go for it. I understand the idea that it is really important in terms of geopolitics, how we need to own it because Russia or China can come and take it. And it's also, we have to be mindful that it's also part of Green Denmark. So Denmark is part of NATO. So if we go and attack them, is it like we are triggering Article 5? But then again, it also has Article 2, where Denmark needs to also protect. It's just really crazy. And I saw today France sent a lot of troops to Greenland to do a military exercise. I don't know what's that going to be. I'm all in for buying it, but you're opening up a Pandora's box, a chain of Pandora's box. Imagine if America can go and take Greenland at the same for national security and mineral resources. Russia can easily come to us and say, listen, that's why I'm going to invade Ukraine, because it's a threat for national security. What are we going to say? Like, can we be the moral person? Like, yeah, Russia is the enemy. Like, and then look at China. China would say, you know what? Oh, Taiwan is important. We wanted to go and capture Taiwan because that's in our national interest. What are we going to do? And also, let's play it the other way. Let's think if Russian president goes and kidnaps Zelensky and takes him back to Russia and says, this guy has killed a lot of people of our troops. He needs to go to jail. Can he do that? Like, how did we for Maduro? Like, I don't know. Like, I like United States being the leader of the free world, but it has to set its own moral values. We can't go around and policing the world at the same time. We have to also we also needs to be having a high standard of moral values. And we can't, and China could also tomorrow go and grab the leader of Taiwan and put him in jail. Like, what makes that sense? And imagine, hypothetically, let's imagine if another country prosecutes our president, can they come and take our president and prosecute them in their country? No. Like, imagine, perfect example with Netanyahu, with Bibi. He has been in a lot of countries. ICJ has issued an arrest warrant. So can the ICJ go to Israel and pick him up and can take him to the court and get indicted, have a, what do you call, not indicted, have it on trial? Like, can they do it by force? Does the ICJ have a military force that goes and captures people who don't adhere? No. So you have to understand that. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, I like the way we are thinking about expansionist, how the Monroe Doctrine came into play as a foreign policy. I like the way that we can, say, okay, this is our hemisphere to control it. But it's just that sometimes the way it does, it's going to backfire so badly. Knock on the wood. I hope it doesn't. And that's going to be a disaster for you and me, people who are living here. It's not going to be easy. Being said that, I think we are talking about a lot of war and stuff like that. It's crazy. We also have, let's talk a lot of other things that's happening outside the country and then come inside because we've been already talking about it. We also have the Lebanon army says the first phase of dismantling has happened. As you all know, because Lebanon is part of this whole chaotic that's with Hezbollah and everything that's happening, that the second phase of the Gaza peace agreement is in place. Steve Witkoff, I think, announced it today that we are going into the second phase, and Israel and Palestine, and why the reason why we have Lebanon and Syria, everybody is involved because there are the malicious, that's the tentacles of Iran doing stupid shit to Israel. and that's just, and then that also includes Hamas being a part of Iran. I mean, funded in some of the funds through Iran. So I hope the second phase gets into place and they have established the national peace. There was what was the name? It was the peace group Trump announced, and I think we haven't still heard it from the people that are going to be in the committee. I think President Trump already said there is a committee, and we are looking forward to hear who are those people going to be in that committee. It's going to be interesting to look at it. And on the that's just then we also have the ex-Tory Chancellor Nadhim Zahawi defects to reform UK. I mean, UK needs to have a lot of reform. It's crazy because people are getting arrested in UK for social media posts and inciting in their world, like being racist and stuff like that. I don't know where UK is going on. To all the Brits out there, come on, guys, put your shit together, you know. And it's too much. I think what's happening over there. I don't know if we all have freedom of speech. I think freedom of speech has some limitations some places. I have no idea how the situation is, how the freedom of speech is upheld in countries like Britain. They say that they have it, but I don't know. So with that, let's go into the things that are happening in the country, in America. So this is something we really need to be careful. Like, I do understand that President Trump is trying to lower the interest rate or trying to get the economy better, but it's also very important for us to separate the Fed and the administration. You can't be tangling with them and pushing them and saying stuff. I mean, as much as there are some level of corruptions or some level of things happening in the Fed, but you can't go around and say, I want this, and push them. That's not the way to deal with it. And just keep Powell and the Fed, like, I don't know, like, just keep it away. It's better that way that they react. And JPMorgan surprisingly came and said this year there might not be any rate cuts. So Fed might not cut because they think that the interest rate are going to be steady for this year. They think that a possible interest rate might be hiking in 2027 based on the strong job data and continuing of inflation above 3%. If the inflation goes above 3%, they might go up again. But market had factored 1 or 2, 3 cuts, but this updated outlook shift expectation. President Trump has publicly pressured the Fed and to lower the rates dramatically to 1%, and that's why we are here. But also understand there's another there's going to be a new Fed in May. So Powell is going to be gone. I don't know who is going to be. Then also the U.S. Financial stock slides after Trump says a credit card cap plan. So President Trump did an amazing thing. I think it should be for long. He has reduced the interest rates on credit cards from 29.99% to 10%. For a year, he has asked all the financial institutions to reduce it. And I think that will go into effect on the 20th of January. And he also, because of that, the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones reacts to the news alongside a broader volatility tied to political and economic policy shift that's happening. You all saw how Bitcoin took off and the stock market collapsed. That doesn't happen, guys. This shows a huge signal where the future lies in. I mean, I'm a big fan of cryptocurrency. I think a lot of ETF and a lot of things are going to be exploding in this year or the future. And I think cryptocurrency could be the future, could be the game changer, and will be the game changer. Unless, we end up in another third world war because, again, going back and attacking Iran, this could be the stupidest thing we ever do. Unless we have a plan and we can execute it precisely through our Delta Force people. No boots on the ground unless we can go and do it perfectly. We also had a lot of crazy things happening with FIFA. A lot of people have cancelled their tickets. I don't know why. Intense situations are going back and forth because of ICE raids and a lot of things that are happening in the country. Uh, Being said that, the US also invested $115 million into counter drone tech for FIFA World Cup. So where the US, the State Department of Homeland Security also investing a counter drone technique where it will be protecting the people that are going to come in. And it's also, to celebrate the 250 years of America. This is that year. And I think everything is coming together. Hopefully, the FEMA was also awarded $250 million to host 11 to 11 Cup host states. So FIFA World Cup for 11 states that are going to be purchasing these equipments, the drones that's going to be there. So President Trump also took this. I like this part where he took a increasing of a tariff 25% if countries are doing business with Iran. So that will pressure them more. And here's the question again, guys. Going back to Iran, is that like what is going to replace them? Raza Pahlavi was like, everybody wants. I'm not a fan of him. Imagine, you got to understand this. America instead helped have Raza Pahlavi's father become the king. They installed him. And then America, in Jimmy Carter's time, America and the Brits and the French brought in Khomeini to take him out. And it will be so funny for them to go back after 47 years to the guy we didn't want to be. And it's funny, this is the guy we went and installed in 1953. And then we took them out with the French and the British and installed the Ayatollahs. And now we're saying, okay, let's go back and put Raza Pahlavi. I don't know. I think Iran should be a democratic state. I don't think, I hope if Raza Pahlavi can be an interim person. I don't know. I don't believe in that. And I think it can also, if nothing happens, it can also create a big bubble. It's really scared. And he also said that, I don't know if he has to have support, first of all, to go inside and do it. I think it will be much better if they have a general election and someone gets elected in Iran. I don't know how the people around Ayatollahs are going to react. That gets, the only way it can be successful, that there is separation within. If not, it's not going to happen. Then also United States, this is the best part, guys. The U.S. withdrew from 60 UN science and climate agreements, accelerators. I love this. UN has to go back to being a humanitarian organization and stop all the other shit crap that they're doing. And it ain't giving it. I think it has served its purpose. I always say that. I've been working with them. I've done a lot of things with them. It has served its purpose for 80 years. And I think it's time for us to move to a different form of a structure, or shrinking it down and bring it down to very, very important organizations and cut the crap out of anything that is not necessary. And it can also save a lot of money. And I also think that there is a big growing of multilateralism in this world right now, bilateralism, sorry. And I don't know if the world is more ready to have like a big multilateral, I don't know, intergovernmental organization. It's just really going to be hard. And then Trump also said we're going to leave IPCC. I think IPCC should be dismantled. I don't know. They just scare the shit out of the people, and for no reason. And then everybody gets scared and, messed up in their brain. Oh, the world. I was a victim of it. That's what I'm speaking. And it's so sad how they have been reacting. So we also had the other thing that's it's very sad. A 37-year-old was shot dead, Renee Nicole, by a policeman named ICE officer called Jonathan, I believe. It's a very tricky situation. The ICE officer was already having something that has happened to him in 3 years, 3 4 months before he got dragged into this. Like, guys, let them do their work. Don't get in the middle. And then also, like, why would you pull the gun on an unarmed person? And I think, like, I don't know, the I mean, I spoke to a lot of cops. They say you're supposed to not be in front of a moving vehicle. Why was he in front of a moving vehicle? And why did he to pull the second and third shot? Like, third and fourth, the third and second and third shot. Like, that's on the side. So it's very scary time to be, and I don't want this to turn to another George Floyd, and it'll be a chaotic country, looting, everything is going to go haywire, and it's just going to be really sad. And the other good thing happened is that again, I said the Department of Homeland Security publicly announced that Operation Salvo, where they're targeting gang members and they have captured a lot of people in New York City. Amazing. Like, do that. Like, send the people out that are, rapists and gang members, name it, drug addicts, convicted people. Send them all back. We don't need them. And we also had a very sad situation in what do you call, in the movie industry. Unfortunately, Scott Adam, the creator of Dilbert, died at the age of 68, and he was the famous American cartoonist. He was so famous for Dilbert, a comic strip that satirized office and corporate culture. Has died at the 64, battling of long battle with metastatic prostate cancer that has brought in. He announced his wife during a live stream. She had a before, and he became a global sensation after appearing in the newspeak. Well, it's very sad. He was loved by a lot of people, and Adam was, he was the architect of, comics, especially office and corporate in office and corporate culture. So I hope, thanks for joining, guys. I hope next time I will be able to talk to you guys. Hopefully we have a world that's functioning. Hopefully we don't end up in a third world war, which will be a disaster. And I hope it'll all come to an end sooner or later. And with that, thanks for joining Every Degree Matters. I'm your host, Saffran Minhar. See you next week.